Well, hey there, and welcome to this edition of BEP Talks Beliefs, Experiences, Passions, shared with our audience by people from all over the world, from all industries, professions, all ages, all stages of their career, all stages of life. The one thing that all BEP Talks has in common is that our guests come with such generosity to share their stories, to inspire, to motivate, educate, and I say sometimes even just to entertain, which is great too. So they're all so authentic. And today is certainly no exception. I'm going to give a very brief introduction today. Our guest today is Amanda Roy, and she has such a fascinating career path, which is very much what brings us to today's conversation. So, with no further ado, please welcome today's guest, Amanda Roy.
Hi,
And
Beth.
there she is. Well,
Hello.
hello there. How are you?
I'm well. Thank you for having me today.
My absolute pleasure. And this is a very needed conversation. I feel like I'm just letting our audience eavesdrop on a call that you and I just might be having between the two of us, like, not on a Zoom, not on a camera. And you'll discover what I mean by that as we go on. So,
Okay.
Amanda, you have a fascinating career path. Like so many women, some experience in corporate. I know you were in office management
hmm
and that you changed, switched gears a little bit. I know that you're the mother of twins. How fantastic. Doubly
Yes.
blessed, doubly challenged. Yes,
I don't
yes,
know. They weren't
yes.
really they weren't really a challenge, actually.
Oh, how old are they?
They're 24. They're going to be 24 in just a few months. Yeah.
Look
My
at you.
singleton baby was actually less of a challenge, or she was more of a challenge than my twins.
Isn't
hmm
that funny? Well, see, when
Yeah.
they get to be 24, your memory kind of fades. You forget about all those nights 24 years ago, but God bless you, as well he did. So going from corporate into, and you had your twins, you lost 100 pounds. My
Yes.
gosh, but you obviously gained a lot of weight carrying twins.
Yes.
And
Yes.
that brought you a very kind of, I guess, a natural transition into weight loss and fitness. Just share a little bit about that part of your career path.
Oh, geez. Well, before I had my twins, of course, I was, young and, fit and, putting on 100 pounds, is a lot. And it has had a very, detrimental effect to my body. I mean, my knees were hurting, my back was hurting after I had my boys. And it was just one of those things that I had to figure out how to get it off, and I had to get it off fast because I was in pain. I wasn't used to feeling that way. It was horrible, actually. Horrible, horrible time. And so I just started doing stretches. I started walking. And before you know it, the pounds just started dropping. So I didn't know what I was doing. I had no idea. I was just kind of doing what everybody else said, this is how you should do it. And the pounds just started dropping. And then that led me into becoming a personal trainer. My husband, he was like, you know what, you are doing such a great job, and you were so dedicated and doing all these things. Maybe you should teach other people how to do this. And so that kind of took me on my personal trainer journey, and into health coaching, and into a weight loss center, where I help people lose weight. So it was just kind of a natural progression.
I heard that, not that exact story. That's a fabulous story, but that transition, and I think that is so much what women experience. That well, beliefs, experience, passions. When we go through it
Yeah.
ourselves, I think for women, it's our natural instinct to want to share it with other people,
Yeah.
and to say, if I did it, you can do it. You were certainly a great example of it, and to put it out there. I find that that is such a common. Um, it's in our hearts.
Yeah.
We want to help, we want to cure, we want to heal, we want
Right.
to make better, and we, of course, always want to share.
Yeah.
So,
Sure.
like so many, then hits the pandemic, which for so many of us created, as we were all told, to pivot. Oh, you're
Yeah.
going to love this. I actually trademarked the word pivot.
Oh.
You know why? Quick story here. Because everybody kept saying pivot, pivot, pivot. But did
Yes.
anybody ever explain what pivoting meant?
No.
What it was? Well, I'm
Yeah.
a sports person, so I know from sports particularly basketball, what a pivot foot is. You plant one foot, that's your pivot foot, and then you can move the other foot that you can still go in 360 degrees. It was suggested that we all had to change everything that we were doing. And I'm like, no, that's such a bad message. What it meant is that you should plant yourself and then travel, find the path, go around and see which direction you should go in. So for me, trademarking pivot, it meant, oh, you're going to love this, put increased value on technology. Pivot.
Hmm. Oh, wow.
How perfect is that
Yeah.
for you?
Right.
And
Yeah.
why? And I'm not a tech person at all, which you're about to discover. But for me, it meant that because of the pandemic, everybody was doing what we're doing now. We were meeting this way, everything became virtual, and we
Yeah.
did have to rely on technology. It was an opportunity, but there weren't many options. So it was
Right.
kind of a direction, whether we chose to or not, we had to go. So put increased value on technology. Oh my gosh, pivot. That
Amazing.
is
Yeah.
you. That is you.
That
So it
exactly
is
my
exactly you. So in
yeah.
2023, you started a new company called Leads Hub Agency.
Yep.
What was that all about?
Um, well, I've always been an entrepreneur at heart. Always, always. I mean, I did the Mary Kay businesses when I was younger. I always did. I had a tax and accounting business as well. Yeah, that I did. And I always wanted to be an entrepreneur. So, as you brought up, COVID changed everything and we all had to pivot. So when that happened, I went online and I was a health coach online, basically, is what I was doing. I started working with some of my other clients that I had that because my weight loss center I was managing was closed. So I started doing things online, that sort of thing. And then what I realized was that so many people online, because of technology, you had to have, these automations in place and you had to have a CRM. And I remember thinking, what the heck is a CRM? And it was kind of during that time where everybody was still learning what they needed to do and how they can be successful online. And I was in a mentorship program that was building summits. You had to build a summit, and how to do all the automations and set the setups and all the behind the scenes. And it came easy for me. I just remember thinking, oh yeah, I got this. I learned a little bit. I put it together and I just made the adjustments and I was able to do it. And I was noticing so many other people in my groups that were, I don't know how to do this. This is overwhelming. I mean, I was hearing this. I still hear this, obviously. But I ran into so many people who didn't understand how to build all these systems in the background or build a landing page. I mean, we were just learning about what those were at the time that I started getting involved in doing it and helping people. And I became a Keep partner, which was formerly known as Infusionsoft. So I started building systems in Keep for people. And then I ran across Go High Level and I just fell in love with Go High Level and all the different features that it has. And so that's kind of what took me from health coaching into technology. And I realized it's such a need. There's so many
Oh,
people
oh,
or struggling with it that it felt like a rite of passage for me to go, okay, I'm good at this, I'm comfortable with it, it comes easy for me, and not everybody experiences that, so I want to help. So
yeah.
that's kind of where that came from.
Good for you. And the timing, I mean, it kind of, I don't want to say forced you into it, but it opened up a great pathway for you. And as you say, so many need it. And
Yeah.
what I find for me, I know what I'm good at, I know what I know, and I'm smart because I know what I don't know. And enter someone like you. How technology is changing like with every breath we take, it's constantly turning over and changing. And kind of just when you get comfortable with something, you need something else. How do
Yeah.
you how do you keep up with it?
Oh, that's a good question. My husband, he laughs at me all the time. I'm an Enneagram 1. I just learned this a few weeks ago. And if you don't know what it is somebody who loves to learn, loves personal development. I could be a full-time student, just because I love learning new things. And so in order to keep up on all the changes and all the different AI programs, I try them all out. I test them. So my bookkeeper, she laughs at me. She's like, Amanda, you really should, try to cut some of these expensive expenses. And I'm like, well, it's a cost of doing business, the kind of business that I do, because I need to learn the program. I need to find out if it's going to be a good program for me to use or to work with my clients on. And then I cancel the membership if it's not. And then I move on to the next thing. So
Next.
it's a constant, I'm constantly learning. I set time aside every week, most days where I learn something new.
Oh, I like that.
It's a lot. When you're in the business of technology, yeah. And I don't know everything, but I try. I do my best to to spend the time to invest that time into learning.
Someone like myself is grateful for someone like yourself because I don't know what it is. I love to learn. I like to learn something. I know I'm going to learn something new in this BEP talk today. That's what makes every day on BEP's a great day. But there's something that happens in my brain. I don't know. I'm left-handed. I don't know if that has anything to do with it. And a lefty. We
Yeah,
think on the different side of our brain, perhaps. But I find that there are a couple of topics, tech being one of them, that when people start talking about it, and I'm hearing la 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 in my own
yeah,
head, it's like
yeah,
I have a mental block, and I'm a pretty intelligent person. So I guess there are just some people who have
yeah.
more of a knack for it than others. And so again, so grateful for somebody like yourself. I have tried to learn. I'm going to be very transparent here. I've tried to learn, but what I have learned is be smart enough, as I said earlier, know what you know and know what you don't know.
Right. Yes, yes.
So here's my metaphor. When you're not feeling well, you go to a doctor. You don't say, gee, I should go to medical school so I
Right,
can figure out what's wrong with me, that I'll
right.
know how to heal myself.
Yeah,
I mean, that's kind of a bizarre example, but it really does explain it.
yeah,
So you go to the expert. When the car needs to be fixed, you go to the expert. When the
yeah,
plumbing breaks, you call the plumber. Um, and to that point, about more like the plumber, the electrician, and all those kinds of people, is that when you go to the expert, you typically save more time because
yep,
it gets handled. When you don't go to the expert, and I'm not saying don't try to learn things, but it often ends up costing you certainly more time and
right.
often more money in the long run because of what you miss because of the time you spent trying to learn it.
Yes, yes.
See how smart I am?
You are very smart. And I agree completely with you. I always tell people, like, stay in your lane.
Stay
You know,
in your
you
lane.
don't have to learn everything. You just need to be in a partnership or have a friend
Have a
who
friend,
knows the
yeah,
things you don't need to know because there's so much to learn, especially being an online business, and let alone we do the networking, we do the social media marketing, we do all these other things that we have to do. And not everybody does that, is good at that. Everybody feels comfortable doing that. I like to think of my daughter, she's finishing up high school, she's 17, and she's like, oh, I hate math and I'm horrible at math. And she's like, but I'm really good at writing. And that's kind of how it is, right? You either are really good in this part, but you're really not so great in that in school. And if you were good in math, you probably weren't good in English. If you were good in English, you probably weren't good in math. It's just the way our brains work. Doesn't mean there's
whatever.
anything wrong with anybody. It's just that our brains work differently. I work with a doctor, and sometimes he says things to me that blow my mind. But when it comes to technology, he relies on me, and he's a neuroscientist.
Oh,
So, it's just, we're all very different. We're very unique, which makes the planet, which makes the world we live in very interesting.
that's a really good thing about someone who is so brilliant, like a neuroscientist, a brain scientist, a brain surgeon, a heart surgeon, that
Hmm.
there's an old expression like, oh, he's very smart, but he doesn't know enough to come in out of the rain. Like
Right.
there's a common
Yes.
sense kind of
Yes.
factor that all their brain power went to where my brain power did not go. I
Right.
do, I love the rain, but I do know to come in out of the rain.
Right.
So
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
So
My husband calls it what book smart versus like what the common sense or no street smarts is kind
wise,
of
yeah.
the difference.
Yeah.
I have book smarts. I don't have very good street smarts, so you know.
See, I have common sense. I'm a logical person, but I want to make this point. I've worked with people, I've had employees where I've said, this is what I need regarding technology. This is where I want it to end up. So we have to start here. And they say, Beth, you don't know anything about technology. How do you know the steps? I said, because that's logical to me. And I'm
Yeah.
logical, I'm practical. I'm a strategist, I'm not a tactician. So you kind of need to have both. So do you consider you are a strategist, but you're also the tactician?
Yes, yes. And I think that what you just described is actually a perfect collaboration, right? Because you strategize, this is what needs to be done. This is what I think how it needs to look. And then somebody like me puts it actually on the computer and builds the system. So I have to have strategy because automations and all of that stuff is all very much strategy. But having somebody like it's not the thing that I'm really good at. But I can take what you say and say you when you say I want it to look like this. I want this system built and then I'm like, "Oh, okay, I can see how all these work and all these pieces and we need to do this." I can see from the other perspective. That's my gift. Whereas yours is
Be the
creating it.
wed- yes, be the wedding planner, but you're going to
Mhm.
play the music. You're going to cook the
Yeah.
food. You're going to take care of all of that. I can just visualize it. So, with
Mhm.
all of your talents and skills, because I know there are many, what are you what are you most well known for, and what do you like doing the most?
I love building automations and I love the challenges. I know I'm a big nerd when it comes to this. I am, and I'm proud of it. I've just decided I'm a nerd and I'm proud of it. I love building automations. I love taking things that, especially when a client comes to me and says, "Hey, Amanda, I really want to do this. Is this possible?" I'm like,
Oh,
let me work on that. Let me figure that out for you. And I can make a very complicated system to make it work. I love that. I could sit in my jammies all day long. I wish I could, but we have to do other things to be, in business when we're online business owners. But I could sit in my jammies all day long and just build systems. I love it.
guess what? I'm going to ask you to stand up if you're wearing your jammy pants. I
Oh,
won't do that. I won't
that's
do
good.
that. No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't.
Oh,
Because then
that's
I would
good.
have to do it the same thing. So I'll leave it at that.
Yes,
So
yes.
just give me a little bit of a list of the types of tasks, projects. You said automation, but
Hmm.
something is telling me from the name of your company that you started in 2023, Leads Hub Agency. Where does that come in?
Yeah, honestly, I'm not really sure where I came up with that. But I love it because it encompasses everything that I do. So I'm not a lead generation company. So it's not like we take we take clients' accounts and we generate those leads for clients. We don't do that. I look at it as we build the systems to bring leads in to people's
Oh,
world,
okay,
right?
gotcha.
So yeah, so we build the funnel that you have to share to get your lead magnet into the world. So that's bringing the leads in, right? We build websites where again we're going to have the lead generation or ways to contact people, things like that. Where again that brings the leads into the business. So I named it Leads Hub for that reason. Like we build the system so that you can have leads, summits or workshops, things like that.
I
Yeah.
gotcha. I gotcha. So you have now just told me you're like a one-stop shop.
Oh, yes, I very much am. Yeah. Yeah. And I have gone so since I started this, I've tried all these different ways of how do I market myself? Do I market myself as a website designer? I tried that for a while. Do I market myself as a lead generation funnel or a funnel expert? Or do I market myself as just like, okay, come into my agency and as a go high level client, and I'll take care of you. And I just have my monthly clients I take care of. I tried everything to figure out what worked and what I liked. And I decided, you know what? I'm a go high level coach and I build automations and go high level. That's what I do. and it encompasses so many different things. We talk about email, we work on your email, we set up your email so it doesn't go into spam, we build your websites, we build all your funnels. I mean, there's just so many things that we do. I mean, I was working on a WordPress website last night and I was setting up domains for a client that his website went down and he had to get a new domain. And, I do domain management. I do Google Workspace and help people set that up. So yeah, I kind of do a lot. My team and I we do a lot. We also do social media management. So we do social media and do all the email marketing for clients. So that's why the name really kind of fits everything that we do.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking at it like you can lead us, the non-tech people of the world. You can lead us. You're the middle, and you can lead us to where we want to go. You are a one-stop resource. And I'm kind of imagining that if somebody can articulate what their goal is, what their vision is, that they can share with you, here's where I am today, and here's where I want to go. You just, fill in that gap.
Yes.
You are, wow.
Yep. Yep.
We knew something good was going to come out of the pandemic. It had to. And someone like you doing what you do for someone like me and so many others, because I don't have time to go to medical school to figure out what's wrong with me. I just
Right.
need to go to the expert. And in
Right.
this case, when it comes to tech, you, my friend, are the expert. I want to say to everybody, I know I'm not alone. I know I'm not alone. And you can see it with the results that people aren't getting, the frustration, the lost time, the lost income. And I think the worst part of that is giving up on oneself because you don't think it's possible to get it done.
Right.
And I want to encourage, as I always want to encourage every woman to realize if you have a vision, if you have a dream, it can get done. You just need to connect to the right resources. And I am so blessed to introduce you all to Amanda today because she is a resource center unto herself. And that's why, when I said earlier, why I am someone who definitely appreciates and needs someone like Amanda. I can have the vision, I can have the dream, and just get me there. Just get me there. So
Thank
I
you,
want
Beth.
to say to everybody that below is information on how to be in touch with Amanda, how you can engage with Amanda, and use her talent to help your dreams come true. And as she has shared, as Amanda has shared her beliefs, her experiences, her passion, she really helps you want to fulfill your belief. So you have the experiences that you want, that you never have to give up on that which you truly do feel passionate about.
For
BEP
sure.
Talks. That's it. That's it. Amanda, thank you so, so much. This has been such a wonderful conversation. I knew it would be. I knew I would learn a lot, and I have. And you know what? If you don't learn something new, just as valuable, I perceive it as if you get something affirmed or confirmed. That's a great thing. Something else that you can cross off the list. Like, where do I go when I need this? Well, I just crossed a whole lot off my list. So, got to start a new list. Got to start a
Awesome.
new list.
Wonderful.
Amanda, thank you so much. I wish you a very blessed day. And to our audience, I always say thank you, of course, for watching and for listening. And please connect with Amanda. Don't give up on your beliefs. Have your experiences, live your passions, because there are people out there who can help you make them come true. I promise
Absolutely.
you that. And we say everybody has a story. Everybody has a story to share. Every one of them is worth listening to, and I would love to share them with other people. So go to BEP Talks. I would love to have you as a guest. And as we always say, until we meet again, may the best always be yet to come. Until we talk again, bye for now.
Bye. Thank you, Beth, for having me.
My absolute pleasure. Have a blessed day, everyone.